In this video, I want to share with you a story that really stirred something in me and put me on the path towards why I believe radical stewardship is the best way to operate business and why it's something that I really want to build a movement around globally. Um, it, so what happened was, so a while back, maybe a year ago, my wife Tatum said to me that she came across a story on social media. It was two Malaysian parents. They had a baby, a young child, infant. I forgot how old, but basically a baby. And they had a condition where they needed a transplant. I think it might have been a liver transplant, I can't remember. They were unable to have the operation in Malaysia. The only place where they could have had it was in China, and it was like a new kind of, it was a new procedure, testing it and no guarantee of success, but it was an opportunity that they could have done. The thing is, they needed a substantial amount of money to pay for the surgery. They had a GoFundMe and tried to try to raise capital to pay for it, and then that was being circulated on social media, and Tatum came across it later afterwards. And long story short, they didn't raise the money they needed. They couldn't have the operation. The baby died, and that really stirred something in me, especially since I've got young kids. And I'll be honest with you, I really do love babies. They're such a joy and great to be around. And I can't even begin to imagine in my worst nightmares what it would be like for the parents in that situation. And one of the reasons why I want my company to make a lot of money is so if I'm ever in a situation where I see something like that, I'm able to help them immediately without hesitation, and to potentially, help save someone if they need it. And obviously at the time I couldn't have done it. Even if it had come to me at the time, I couldn't have done it because we don't have the resources and capital to do it. But at some point in my life, I do want to have that available. And so I can contribute and help people. It's to me, it's sort of, it doesn't seem right that this baby could have had a surgery that could have saved them, but the reason it didn't go ahead was because the parents didn't have enough money to cover for the surgery and everything that had been involved. And I want to make sure that if I'm ever in a situation where somebody needs help, that I can provide it. But I'm just one person. I'm one person trying to build a business with two young kids for them homeschooling, and I'm aware that it's going to take me a long time in order to build up to the level that I need to be. The concept of radical stewardship is that we steward what's been entrusted to us intentionally. Is that if I can inspire other people through the concept of radical stewardship, I can inspire them through what it is, what it means, how it works, and whatnot. Then maybe other people would be in a position where they can contribute towards or help someone and actually save someone, instead of viewing a message that goes viral and they receive and look at it and that doesn't sound very nice and whatever it is, and then they flick onto the next message and then they forget about it. But they're actually there and it stirs something within them and they say, yes, I want to take action, I want to do something. And that's sort of one of the big factors for me that contributed to the birth of radical stewardship, in addition to a whole bunch of other things which I will share about in future videos. And that's also kind of led me down the path of wanting to use the revenue that we do have in order to help and uplift others. thing that we did recently, me and Barbara, was we just made a small donation to a special needs centre in Nigeria where Barbara lives, in one of the poor neighbourhoods, and just a small donation. And they were so grateful for it and so happy for it because they don't receive much funding. And having someone in the family with special needs, not not extreme, but she's got mild autism, knowing what it's like, and also in the area where I run, there's a special needs centre, and I see the kids out when I'm running, going on walks with the staff, and what it's like. And for me, these people are the heroes of society who take care of special needs kids. It is the definition of sacrificial love in many ways because it's just so challenging. And then you're able to make a small contribution, and it has such a big impact on them. For us, it's just money. It's a small amount of money that we otherwise, quite frankly, would have given it to the church anyway for them to go and use on their admin tasks. Not that I'm saying giving to the church is wrong, but instead of just on a tangent. So what my wife and I decided to do is we give 50% less to the church every month and use that 50% extra to make a real difference or try and do something. We have no revenue coming in as at the time of recording the video, so we're just trying to do with what we've got. Well, again, for me, it's small. Kingdom Impact Lab is a small business. We don't have much revenue, and it's going to take a long time before we can have the revenue that I want to have so I can steward it well. But by me doing things like this now, showing what's possible, maybe I can inspire someone that does have an established business. Maybe I can inspire someone that already has the revenue in place. And then maybe I can inspire them to find something that stirs their heart. And maybe it's helping the homeless, maybe it's education for kids, maybe it's whatever it is, something within them that they want to do something about. And then to inspire them to actually do it, to use your business and the revenue you make in your business to go and have an impact. So I just imagine that the impact that we had by giving a small donation to a special needs centre in Nigeria, that just imagine the impact you could have if Kingdom Impact Lab was currently making $10 million a year, for example, and high profits. With all of that profit that we have, what could we actually contribute to and make a real difference? And I want to inspire that person who may have that business that are hitting these revenue targets and hitting these revenue goals currently, to use a tiny percentage of your money to go and do something that you want to make a difference with. Now, I'm not saying donate to a charity. I'm not saying give it to an NGO. I'm not saying to go and find something and give them $20,000 or whatever it is, because obviously you need to do the vetting and you want to make sure that your money makes a real difference and a real impact. Giving it to charity, well, the vast majority of money in a charity goes towards administrative costs, paying salaries and expenses. You give a large amount to a centre like what we did in Nigeria, and because they don't have the systems and processes in place already, that money is probably going to be wasted if you were to do it, or squandered, or worse, stolen through corrupt practices or people, my share kind of thing, which absolutely would happen in a lot of situations. But if I'm able to plant the seed to you that this is something that you could do, and just imagine the impact you have, and then perhaps you would use your business skills and your business background in order to then apply that to a situation like, well, okay, here's a centre that helps kids. How can I use my business knowledge and skills to actually help them build a basic system, and then I can provide some level of funding to them in order to help them flourish as well. That's one thing you can do through Radical Stewardship, and that's how you can give back, and that's one way that I want to contribute. If any of this resonates with you, the concept of Radical Stewardship, the vision that I have is to build a global movement, first starting with a small community and then building bigger and bigger and bigger. So a global movement of Christian entrepreneurs who live radical stewardship, and we demonstrate that business can be used for the flourishing of others and for kingdom impact. My mission is to inspire other Christian entrepreneurs to apply radical stewardship so you can basically steward what you have to help others through business, through giving, through generosity, through whatever it is. And what we're actually trying to do at the moment to raise revenue to fund our mission is we want to apply radical stewardship specifically through relationships in business. So we can help you build a profitable business, a very profitable business, through applying radical stewardship. And the way that that actually works is that we help you build relationships with people in your business rather than just trying to extract from them. And as a result of doing this over long periods of time, when you're planting seeds daily, weekly, and you genuinely want to help and serve, you're going to get more clients, more people are going to want to buy from you because they like you, they trust you. You're going to get more referrals, more introductions, and we can help you do all of that. And that's what we are currently doing at the moment in order to raise revenue to invest in making my vision a reality. So if any of this resonates with you, please get in touch. I would love a conversation. That's all. See you next time.